What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 23 League Racing. We're back for another race in the Streamers and Co VRL, and it is the start of a brand new season. We're in season 3. I can't believe it's been 3 seasons of this already. But yeah, we are here to start, and we are in a brand new team. We're in Alpine, joining Anto, last season's runner-up, to try and win the Constructors' Championship for the French outfit, and the race is going to be at none other than the JEDDAH Corniche circuit in Saudi Arabia. I am immensely excited for this one, not least because I actually did very well here last season. We finished on one of our strongest performances of the season last season in P6. Obviously we finished there on multiple occasions, but one of them was at JEDDAH, and I think there was a legitimate chance for me to get P5 there. I was racing Ryan pretty much the entire back end of that race as well, so yeah, who knows, maybe we can go one better, get a P5 finish here today. In any case, we're now into qualifying, and we're going to have maybe about 3 attempts to try and get as far up the order as we can, and we start out with a very poor lap. It's a 1:28.9. I would anticipate that the best times of the session are going to be at least a little bit faster than that, maybe a second or two, so we're going to need to find some serious improvement. And find some serious improvement we do on our second stint, when we improve by almost 0.8 of a second here. You can see as we come on the run down to the line out the final corner, it's going to be a 1:28.1, and we are now close to being in the 1:27s. So that's going to be my goal, I think, for my final run here. We're going to see if we can break into the 1:27s. So as we make our way now onto our third flying lap, let's see what we can do. We have a great run through that corner and we save loads of time, but then we slightly tap the wall on the inside corner there, and that actually costs us a few hundredths of a second. So we're about 3.5 tenths up as we come on the run to the final corner now. Can we nail the final corner? We turn in maybe a tad early, have to back out of it slightly. That's going to cost us some time, and we're going to go down to just about 3 tenths worth of improvement, I think. Just below 3 tenths. Where will we be as we cross the line? So 1:27.8 is good enough for P9 at the moment, but where will it be once everyone has finished their flying laps at the end of the session? We will find out. It ended up being P10. Okay, so only one person improved ahead of us, and we start in the top 10. We start in a position poised and ready to get points there, but the qualifying order was as follows. We had Louis, then we had Ryan, Liam, Anto, my teammate, in P4. Lewis finished P5. We had Alex, that sim racer, in P6. Antoine in the Aston Martin in P7. Then Phil, Mikey, myself, Adam, Taz, Beak, KK, Jermaine, Mike, Zinx, who's standing in for the Alfa Romeos today, and then Ryan actually ended up getting disqualified there. So he ended up qualifying 18th. No time set for Zinx. Don't know whether that was deliberate or whether he was just unable to get a representative lap time in, but in any case, he will be starting from 17th. Now, we were informed that this guy apparently is an esports level driver, so we were told, whatever that means. So, yeah, I'm expecting big things from him from 17th. Maybe he'll be able to carve his way through the field and get his way up into P1 by the end of the race. Who knows? I mean, Louis and Alex and a number of other drivers on the grid here are very, very fast, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to be mounting a challenge as well. Obviously, Louis starting from P1, he will want to convert that into a win, but I could definitely see the likes of, I don't know, Lewis, Alex, maybe even Ryan contending for a win here today. Those are my people who I would anticipate are probably going to get the win. I guess it could be someone like Anto as well. He's yet to have a win in the Streamers and Co VRL. His best result is 2nd, which coincidentally is also my best result across the 2 seasons we've done, although that was all the way back in Australia in season 1. So a long time ago. I believe that was either the 2nd or 3rd round of the entire championship. So certainly it's been a long time, and it's been a long time since I've been on the podium as well. You've got to go all the way back to season 1 again for that. I can't remember which race it was. Might have been the USA. I remember I had a couple of podiums that season. So yeah, I think it's been a long time. Don't think we'll get it today from P10 on the grid, but who knows? Maybe with some chaos, as JEDDAH often throws up, we will have a chance to get a strong result here. But in any case, I think everyone's loaded in. So now it is time for us to get ready as the lights come on. And the lights go out after what felt like an eternity. We are finally underway, and we had a pretty good start there. Don't think we're going to be under pressure, but actually Adam on the inside on the medium tyres is going for a move there. We make contact with the wall, and KK hits us as a result of that. I was trying to take avoiding action from Alex there, and Adam's cut across me there. There's so much carnage here at the beginning. I think Alex got spun round, or someone, maybe it was Phil in the Ferrari. Somebody made contact with him, and that caused them to go around. So yeah, multiple people caught up there. Adam slammed me into a wall. Don't know what he was doing cutting across the track like that, but in any case, that's given me front wing damage as well. We're lucky to even still be in the race, to be perfectly honest with you. And yeah, we got that yellow front wing damage. I don't think it's quite severe enough to the point that we're going to have to pit, but certainly it is going to give us a big performance drop-off for the first stint in this race, and now we've just got to try and see what we can do, see how we can manage with that performance drop-off. You can see Zinks here is already up into P8. He's had a brilliant start. He definitely delivering on the promise that we were expecting from him, and he's going for an overtake on me as I'm struggling with this front wing damage. He has made his way up into P7 already. This is the kind of performance you would expect from someone who supposedly is of that caliber. Thought about maybe sneaking up the inside of him there, but decided better of it with the front wing damage especially. So we are currently in P8. We've made up a couple of positions, mostly capitalising on the misfortune of the drivers around us, who perhaps have had a bit of a difficult start to the season here in the Streamers and Co VRL Season 3. Make contact with the wall once again. I don't know why, I'm just turning early into all of these corners right now. Zinks dummies going in the pits there, but then decides to stay out. Not sure what the purpose of what he was doing there was, but in any case, he stayed out and he's still in P7. And actually, I'm quite happy with how we've managed to stay with him, especially with this front wing damage. So yeah, maybe there's a chance for us to cling to the back of him. But if his pace truly is as rapid as people claim it is, I am sure that it will only be a matter of time before he gets away from us. And indeed, you can see that as we fast forward through lap 2, he's already 1.7 seconds up the road and battling with my former teammate from Season 1, the great Antoine himself. And he's round. Zinks is round. Pushing too hard, I guess, out of that corner, and that's brought out a virtual safety car. We are right behind Antoine now as well, so there is a very, very good chance for us to maybe race with our former teammate here today. Obviously, Antoine had the superior pace on me on many an occasion in Season 1, despite the fact I ended up finishing ahead of him in the championship due to virtue of racing in a few more races than him. But yeah, maybe we can race with him today, although he has box now. Virtual safety car ending, and you can see how close we were to not exceeding the delta, but we have got a drive-through penalty. Immensely frustrating outcome from that virtual safety car, and that means we are going to have to come in at the end of this lap to serve that drive-through. Just get it out of the way as soon as we can, and then try and start making our way back through the field. Hopefully maybe we can get ahead of people on strategy or something like that. Zinks is out of the session, and that has brought out the safety car. So yeah, I don't know what happened with him there, but he is out of the race, and that has brought out a safety car. I think he might have retired on track, actually. And Adam has taken the opportunity to retire from the race as well there as a result of that. So already we have 2 people out of the race, and well, certainly JEDDAH is delivering on the chaos that you would expect that it would. Very early on, 3 laps in, we've already had a virtual safety car and a safety car, and I'm taking the opportunity to box onto a set of medium compound tyres, which I think might be able to take me to the end of the race if there's no more safety cars, but we will see what happens. If there's another safety car immediately after this one, then that would be ideal, and then I think these tyres will definitely do the rest of the race. But it's a bit of a gamble going on to the mediums now. But don't forget, to be fair, I do have a drive-through, so when I come out from that drive-through, I'm going to be in totally clear air compared to everyone else, because everyone else is going to be a lot further ahead of me, and so that is going to be a situation where I'm just going to have to feel like I'm going to have to push as much as I can. RC, Ryan, has been disqualified, and that leaves only 15 drivers in the race, so yeah, it's been a bit of a chaotic one here, to be honest with you, and already 3 drivers out. Will we even have a full 10 drivers make it to the finish line before the end of the race? You might remember back to Singapore last season, we only had 9 drivers actually cross the finish line in that race, and in the end Andy was classified P10 despite not finishing the race. But yeah, we will see whether we are able to capitalise on this this position we're in, even with this drive-through. We're not out of the woods yet. There's always an opportunity for a late safety car or something like that to bring me right back in it. So all I've got to do is just hope that we can end up with some good fortune in this race and see what we can do from the P10 that we are currently in. We've got Jermaine for company just in front of us, and well, he is somebody who I was racing with a lot last season, actually. Definitely a driver who I think has improved quite a lot over the course of the season. Lewis has come into the pits, and that's promoted me up into P9. But everything that I do at the moment has to be taken through the lens of I've got a drive-through penalty, which I have to serve at some point during this race. sooner rather than later. I'm only going to have a few laps after this one. I think Lewis had a drive-through as well there, which is why he's come into the pits there. So he's going to be a long way down already. But I imagine we'll be slightly further behind him once we've served our drive-through as well. I opted to stay out because I know a lot of the time if you do serve a drive-through immediately after a safety car restart, if the yellow flag hasn't gone away yet, sometimes it won't count it, and then you have to do another one. I've witnessed that happen to drivers in this league before, so I've opted to go for the safe route and wait one lap, and then I'm going to serve my drive-through. But Jermaine's had a bit of a wobble there, and we are going to try and capitalise on that. Even if the racing is ultimately meaningless, it is nice to try and go for the overtakes where you can, to remind yourself that you still can, and think about where I could have been in this race had it not been for that. Because, you know, as we stand at the moment, we would have been in P8, and with Mikey in front of us standing in the AlphaTauri, he's on a 5-second penalty. We would have had a legitimate opportunity to get some very good points here. P7, maybe even higher than that if more drivers in front had incidents, who knows. But at the moment we're going to have to just settle for the taking the drive-through and seeing what we can get off the back of that. We're going to be plumb last after this, I would imagine, unless somebody comes into the box as well. And yeah, I think actually somebody has there. It's Taz in the Williams has come into the pit lane, so he will be boxing, I imagine, for some tyres. Maybe he's not getting on the hards, maybe got damage, who knows. Either way, we've served the drive-through penalty, and we're going to be coming out behind Lewis in 14th out of 15 drivers. It's not brilliant. We're going to have to start doing better straight away if we want to have any chance of scoring points here. Lewis was only a few seconds up the road, but he did eventually pit. Now, as we make our way onto lap 10, you can see that he is behind me, 22 seconds down on me. Not sure if he made an error or if he caught a driver and got damage or something like that. But in any case, he pitted again, promoted me up to P13, and someone is round, and that's brought out a safety car. It's Mike. Mike is round, and that's brought out the safety car. And we actually got an illegal overtake on him there, despite the fact that he was sideways when I overtook him. But it doesn't matter. In any case, yeah, Mike is ahead of us, and we're going to have to try and overtake him on track if we want to make up the position. So we're going to come into the pit lane, and we're going to be going on a set of soft compound tyres to the end of the race. Yes, they are a set of used soft compound tyres, but don't forget that we will be doing a couple of these laps under safety car conditions. So by the time that the safety car comes in, you would have to imagine that we're only going to be doing about 5 racing laps on these tyres, and I certainly think that they will be capable of doing that, even if they are used from qualifying. I have very good faith in the soft compound tyre choice, and that is vindicated by the fact that most of the people who did pit under the safety car have also gone on to soft compound tyres. KK opted for the Inters. I don't know if that was a mistake or whether he was just consigning himself to not scoring points, but in any case, yeah, he had to box again to go on a set of soft compound tyres, so I guess it was a mistake maybe from him, just a lapse in concentration. But I mean, I think anyone, with how tight the grid is now, with only 15 drivers left in the race as well, there is the potential for literally anyone to score points here today, and it's just going to be a case of who can take the opportunities they have available to them. I think most people have boxed under the safety car, if I'm not mistaken. I think Beak actually stayed out, so he's going to be a bit of a rolling roadblock in front of us that we're going to have to try and navigate at some point. I went there because I thought the drivers in front had gone, and then it turned out they actually hadn't. Louis, who was controlling the pack here, was actually going very slowly at the time, and caught me off guard a little bit. But yeah, safety car restart eventually gets underway, and that is going to be me in P10 after somebody, I don't remember who, I think Liam has come into the pit lane there. And yeah, we're now going to try and make up as many positions as we can, but it's not getting off to the best start here because we have Lewis on our inside going for the move and making his way up into P10. So we've been pushed out of the points, but there are a few drivers in front of us. We've got Mikey in front of us. Lewis has spun round, so that's another position we've gained there. Yeah, Mikey in front of us. He is on a penalty. Jermaine is on a penalty. So yeah, a number of people that we'd still potentially have the opportunity to get ahead of here, including Mikey, who we're going to try and go around the outside of now, even if he does have that penalty. He taps Jermaine, and he goes into the wall there, so that is Mikey overtaken by us as well. We actually had to take a bit of an avoiding manoeuvre there to make sure he didn't crash into us. We've got Taz for company right behind us, and this is going to be a very intense last few laps of this race. You'd have to imagine it's very close here between Antoine, Phil, Jermaine and myself. Oh no, it's not Antoine, it's Beak actually. I think Beak, Phil, Jermaine and myself. Beak is just going to be going backwards, and you can see how slowly he's going as he goes through the corner. We really had to avoid going into the back of him there, as he was just taking those corners very, very slowly on the hard compound tyres. It's to be expected, of course, no shade on him, but yeah, unfortunately, due to the compounded tyres he was on, just really struggling at the moment, and hopefully holding up a lot of the cars behind to allow me to break away a little bit. Meanwhile, Antoine is up in P5. I reckon he's got to be the benchmark of the driver I think I can catch. But I've also got to pay attention to the fact I've got Jermaine in my mirrors, who does have a 5-second penalty, but it was revealed to me later on in the race, or later on after the race I should say, that he believed that he would get that 5-second penalty removed, and so he thought he was racing for position, and as a result I understood a little bit better why he was racing me so much here. But at the moment, all I felt that he was doing was just holding me up for absolutely no reason, and it was starting to frustrate me a little bit. Mikey's retired from the session there, you can see, so that takes the number of drivers in this race down to 14, and well, I've got to get at least a top half finish here, surely. So yeah, we're going to try and beat Jermaine if we can on track, because you always want to try and beat people on track just in case their penalties do get removed or something like that, or you get a penalty yourself, of course, which does happen. But as much as people like to claim that this race was on strict corner cutting, I got away with some absolute bullshit in this race that makes me feel like it was actually on regular corner cutting. So yeah, I'm not sure how people were getting track limits penalties here, given that I was getting away with some absolutely ridiculous track extensions. I haven't really shown you any of them, granted, but there were quite a few of them. So I was very, very lucky not to be penalised in this race. But we've got Jermaine for company still. He's going to have the DRS here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he tries and goes for a move up the inside of me, or even around the outside of me as we go on the run down to the final corner, turn 27 I believe, at this tight twisting circuit in the Saudi Arabian desert. It is a very, very tight track with lots and lots of corners, very fast and flowing, and that's just how I like it. And you get to play DRS chicken as well, so Jermaine we're going to overtake into the penultimate lap, and we're going to make our way back up into P7, racing with Jermaine, playing DRS chicken with Jermaine. Did he know that that was going to happen? Did he think that he had made the overtake cleanly? Who knows? But in any case, I don't think he's going to fall for that again, and we're going to have to see what happens as we make our way round the final lap now, and we'll see if Jermaine goes for the same thing, or whether he's going to try and just sit back and wait for us to get to the final DRS zone, as it were, and then try and overtake us through that. You can see he doesn't go for the move this time. I thought about letting him through, but you know, we actually have had discussions about this and said that that's not really on to play DRS chicken like that. Obviously, if you let someone, if someone goes through and then you get the DRS in the next zone, that's fair game, but actually like baiting them into doing it isn't really fair. We're going to try and race with Lewis here if we can, but I mean, you know, he's got a lot more pace than me. He was the runner-up in season 1 of the Streamers and Co VRL, I should say, so he's got quite a lot of pace in him. Jermaine's broken away as well, so now I think I'm just going to have to hope he doesn't get that 5-second penalty revoked, and yeah, I think we'll have to settle for P8 here unless I can catch up with Lewis, but he is going to be very fast in that Haas. But there you go, that was a textbook example of a track extension there, which I was almost certain should have resulted in me getting some kind of penalty, but I didn't get a single one, so absolutely no idea why or how that has happened. But yeah, I mean, I'll take it, I'm fine with it, I'm cool with it. It just was a little bit surprising perhaps. And as we make our way round into you know, the second, or I should say the first DRS zone of this final lap, we're going to have a real task on our hands, especially because Lewis is in the DRS of Jermaine as well. Is Lewis going to go for the move, or is he just going to try and consolidate this to make sure that he keeps getting the DRS as I extend the track and don't get a warning again? No idea what was going on there, but I think Lewis is just going to try and tuck into the DRS of Jermaine, knowing that Jermaine has that 5-second penalty, and yeah, as a result use that to beat me. We break a little bit late into the final corner and make a bit of contact with Lewis. That's going to stop him from overtaking Jermaine on the line, I imagine, but it's also going to stop us from overtaking Lewis on the line. So as we come up to the finish line, it is going to be P8, or is it? Because obviously Jermaine did want to get that 5-second penalty revoked, and that would have promoted him all the way up to P7. But the stewards reviewed it, and they decided that it was in fact a penalty for Jermaine. But it doesn't end there, because Lewis also got a penalty for a previous incident with Liam early on in the race, which meant that I ended up finishing P7 in this race and picking up 6 points for Alpine, which I was very happy about. You're going to see the podium now, and well, the podium actually ended up being different in the end as well, because it was Alex P1, Louis P2, and Anto P3 on track. However, Louis got a 5-second post-race penalty as well for an illegal safety car restart. He was going very unnecessarily slowly under the safety car, and the stewards took a very dim view of that. So he got a 5-second penalty, which promoted Anto up to P2 and promoted Ryan up to P3, which means that at the end of round 1, the top 3 drivers in the league are the exact top 3 at the end of Season 2. Which, well, who knows, maybe we'll be on for a repeat of last season, but somehow I think that Louis will bounce back from this, and he will get some good results. But it was Alex from Anto, from Ryan, from Louis, from Antoine, from Phil, from me, from Jermaine, from Lewis, from KK, Beak, Taz, Mike, and Liam was the final of the classified drivers. Mikey, Zinks, Adam, and RC failed to finish the race, with RC being disqualified, hence why he was all the way down in that final position. But yeah, it was a very, very chaotic race here in Jeddah, as you would expect, and I'm very much looking forward to next weekend when we're going to go racing at the Las Vegas circuit. But that is going to be it for this video, so if you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.